Trauma doesn't just live in the past. It can sneak its way into our habits, our routines, and the way we see ourselves. Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness. Tonight we're breaking down how trauma reveals its ugly head because personal growth shouldn't require a subscription. We'll be talking about the physical effects of trauma. How does generational trauma continue? What is a trauma response? And how can you find healing? We're here to help you achieve all of your wellness goals, no matter how big or small. So grab your preferred beverage of choice and settle in. Welcome to wellness. Oh yeah. Welcome back for another Monday motivation. Great day. We're here for our fun live stream. We're going to get this thing kicked off here shortly. And we're having a good time. We're having a grand old time. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is doing well, right? My wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my students of wellness. I hope you're having a great start to the beginning of your week. We're excited to get going. There we go. I was wondering why my chat wasn't showing up. There it is. There it is. Lock that in place so don't go nowhere. Hopefully our YT red platform, because it says it's not receiving. Oh, let me take these glasses off. So I can't really, these are nice. I like these glasses. Can't really read with these on the little lines running down them that really messes with your peripheral vision. It could just be buffering, could just be internet issues. It's hard to say. Hopefully we're coming through. Hopefully we're doing well over here. Piccolo 248, how you doing over there? Glad to hear you're doing well. We're here for another great episode. We're going to get into the real effects of trauma. Yeah, but we're going to keep it lighthearted, right? Trauma is a very serious situation that we deal with, but we all deal with it in our own way, shape, and form. As we're back, we're kind of in a new format. This is I think this is our 10th episode back. We've been back since September 1st. Right? We took a little bit of a hiatus right over the summer to kind of recalibrate, right? Kind of find our way, and we are back and having a great time, having a grand old time. We, our format, we're still kind of having like the same topics, but we also included games in here, which we're going to be jumping into here soon. We are streaming. I'm not a video game streamer, right? I do play video games occasionally when I have time, but no, I don't necessarily stream video games. I don't play enough to really give the illusion that I play like that. So the games I'm talking about are more like brain games, mind games, word games, fun stuff like that. It kind of gives you all an opportunity to interact, which I definitely encourage, right? Some of these brain games, I won't lie, they can be a little bit difficult from time to time. So I definitely appreciate the help from chat. So I'll tell you, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a little background beats going on, courtesy of Stream Beats by Harris Heller, copyright-free music. Get some of that going on in the background for y'all. See what that sounds like. Try her out. A little quiet, but that's all right. And I'll tell you what, since we're just kind of hanging out, just kind of chillaxing and relaxing, let's go ahead and get into our first game. We're going to play our daily Wordle. All right, Wordles are pretty popular, so I'm sure you've seen these before. But Before we do so, right, for any new or even returning viewers, you can find us live, right, at Bargain Brand Wellness on the red platform, or as I call it, YT. Apparently, certain platforms don't like it when you say the names of other platforms. I don't know if that's a thing. I've just heard other streamers say it. You can find us live at Bargain Brand Wellness over on the YT. On the Talk Tick, as I like to call it, you can find us live at Off Brand Tim. We are also back to being live on Facebook as of last week. But still, same issues come through. Chats, for whatever reason, do not come through when we're live, and I don't want to miss any of your comments. So I did go live for those who do want to watch from over there, and I do have some like family, and some friends that watch from over there. So feel free to continue to do so, but we are not reacting to chat. So if you want to engage with us in chat and help us with our games, you need to come over to YouTube or TikTok. All right, either one. So yeah. All right, let's get into our daily Wordle. Let me share my screens for our friends on the tube. All right, daily Wordle. We're starting with our same strategy we always do. All right, Stare gives blanks. Cloud gave us 2. And Pinky gave us 1. So we have 3 letters, none of which are in the same place. We have an L, an I, and a U. So this strategy, as I've shared numerous times, it's good for, it gets all the vowels out of the way and all your most popular letters, including the Y. So then it only leaves you with like 10 letters left that haven't been tried. It's pretty cool. So I'm seeing U, I, and L. The first word that kind of comes to my mind is quilt, but we already used a T. So we do have quill, right? We haven't used an L. We have 3 guesses, so I think we can definitely knock some stuff out of here. Yeah, I think we can definitely knock some stuff out. Yeah, quill is kind of the first word that's coming to me, but let's think on this for a second. We had an M in there we haven't used. We have a B. We have a W. I'm gonna be honest. I like quill. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm pretty sure this is how you spell quill. And you know what? That's just how you do it. That's just how you. I don't know why. That was the first word that kind of popped out to me. I will say with these, some of these Wordles are really easy. Sometimes they're really difficult. I've had it where I've done the cloud Pinky strategy and only had like maybe 1 letter. Like maybe there's a double letter because they do that. They will use double letters quite often. I know you can make it more challenging. I do know that. However, they use, sometimes if you make it more challenging, they use words that most people don't know. I'm just going to be honest with you. They use words that most people don't know. So we're going to stick with these because we do play other games. We're going to play Connections here next, but I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and jump into our first, our kind of first portion of what we're talking about. So we're talking about trauma, and kind of to preface what trauma is, right? Trauma is it can be a single event or a series of events that has a significant impact on a person's life. Wow. I have that memorized basically off the top of my head. You can tell I do a lot of trauma training. Yeah, it has a significant impact, and what's traumatizing to someone varies, right? It kind of depends on a lot of different contexts, different protective factors that have been set up, different risk factors. Not everybody experiences trauma in the same way. Here's the example I always give when discussing trauma, right? Unless you're under the age of, oh shoot, wow, it's 2025. So, okay, I guess we're having to really range out. Unless you're under the age of 30, or 25, no, because 25-year-olds wouldn't remember. We'll say 30. Unless you're under the age of 30, you should remember this. Right? 9/11. right? 9/11, September 11th, 2001. In fact, we just had our, 24th? No, 24th anniversary at 9/11. Anybody who was old enough to kind of remember that time to this day can still remember where they were at when those planes hit those towers in New York, right? That we still remember when that happened. It was a very scary situation. It was a very traumatic situation, considering that a lot of us, especially people around my local area, we knew nobody who was even involved in the situation. But as Americans, right, as a country, we felt that, right? Because for most of us, we never knew that we could be attacked. We've always been kind of surrounded by this bubble, protected by this bubble that has been created. So that's trauma, right? What can be traumatic for one person might not necessarily be traumatic for another person. Someone else who's used to living in a violent, drug-infested, criminal activity neighborhood, right? Not saying that they don't, look around them. Not saying they're not scared at times, but might have grown to be become numb to their surroundings. So there might be certain things that they hear a gunshot down the street, like, yeah, that person got shot again. I had a feeling that might happen. It doesn't always work like that. So, yeah. Whereas someone like myself who grew up in a pretty protected bubble, yeah, that might scare the bejesus out of me. So, anyway, so I just wanted to preface what is trauma. We're kind of the new thing we're doing with this most weeks is reacting, right, to kind of videos. And I typically watch like maybe the first minute of the video to kind of react to it. But I kind of want to give as much of a real-time reaction. So I only watch like the first minute just to kind of make sure it's what we want to talk about. So today's video is 9 habits that reveal past trauma. And I'm going to take my glasses off for this part. Yeah. So, and you can find this linked in the YouTube description.
Habits that reveal past trauma. Let's get right into it. Number 1, fiercely protective of the vulnerable. Have you ever met someone who turns into a real-life superhero the moment they see an injustice? The friend who will step in front of a stranger being bullied, or the co-worker who fiercely defends the new intern from unfair criticism? This isn't just about being a good person. Often, this intense protective instinct is a deeply ingrained response forged in the fires of past trauma. When you've experienced profound helplessness, when you've been in a situation where no one stood up for you, your brain makes a solemn vow, never again. Not for you, and not for anyone else you see in a similar position. This response is a form of post-traumatic growth, where your own pain is transformed into a powerful shield for others. Your nervous system, having memorized the sting of vulnerability, becomes exquisitely sensitive to it in your environment. You recognize the subtle signs of fear in someone's eyes, or the quiver in their voice because you've been there. So, you don't just feel empathy, you feel a visceral call to action. It's less of a conscious choice and more of a reflex. Your past pain didn't break you, it turned you into a guardian, someone who stands in the gap because they know, better than anyone, how terrifying it is to stand there alone. Number 2.
All right, so I don't know how common of a trauma response that is to kind of protect those who need protected. Chrissy, thanks for liking the live over there. Appreciate that. If you're someone who is, that is your response, you don't like bullying, and so you feel the need to stand up to it. That it's pretty powerful, but it shows that a lot of that's triggered by your own feelings of vulnerability and weakness. Not that that's a bad thing. Whatever happened to you happened to you. And basically, it's basically like the video said, you don't ever want to see that happen to anybody ever again. So, interesting.
Masters of reading the room. Some people walk into a room and just sense the vibe. They can tell if an argument just ended, if someone's holding back bad news, or if their boss is in a mood, all without a single word being said. This isn't psychic ability. It's a highly developed survival skill called hypervigilance, and it's often a quiet echo of past trauma. When you grew up in an unpredictable environment where the emotional temperature could change in an instant, your brain had to adapt. It learned to become a master detective, constantly scanning for clues: a subtle shift in tone, a tightening of a jaw, the way someone places a cup down a little too hard. These were the signals that told you whether to be on guard, make yourself small, or get out of the way. Your brain essentially turned into a high-powered social radar, cataloging micro-expressions and non-verbal cues to predict what was coming next. This skill often carries over into adulthood, making you incredibly intuitive in social and professional settings. You can anticipate a client's needs before they voice them, or de-escalate a conflict before it even begins. While it's an exhausting way to live because the radar is always on, it also makes you exceptionally perceptive. You're not just listening to what people say, you're hearing the volume spoken in their silences, a skill you learned when your safety depended on it. Number 3.
So I will tell you, this is very enlightening. Definitely seeing some. I personally, I'm seeing a lot of myself in this. I can't remember, what did they say the names of these were. They had like little names of. You have the fiercely protective of the vulnerable and the masters of reading the room. These tend to be very empathetic people, right? They can kind of discuss things or kind of just realize things before they happen. They almost feel like mind readers at times, and it's definitely a trauma response based off of your past experiences. It can be difficult. It can be very tiring. I can tell you that, speaking from a personal experience. It's avid overthinkers, right? Sometimes you misjudge the situation. People pleasers, right? So it's kind of like a lot of things at ADHD. Some of these trauma habits that they're talking about, they're not always a bad thing, right? Some of them you could almost call them like trauma superpowers, because you're able to empathize with people based off of your own experiences. It really is a pretty powerful skill, but it creates a lot of anxiety. On top of that, as I've shared with you all, I was in therapy for 3 years for probably numerous. I'm not really sure. I don't think we ever really found out what the reason was for it. I think it was just a lot of things compounding. But one was, like most people, struggling with boundaries. Right. In fact, I've shared, if you ever want to work on boundaries, I've shared with this a book, right, that my therapist recommended for me. Setting Boundaries and Find Peace, a guide to reclaiming yourself, by a Nedra Glover Tawwab, Tawwab. Very good book. In fact, I haven't read it in a couple years. I actually need to reread this. It really helped me set some boundaries, but I think there's a couple things in here I'd like to just kind of remind myself of. So definitely worth the read if you're looking to work on that. So awesome. So I'll tell you what, let's bring our AI assistant Nova into the conversation. Nova, how are you doing over there? We're talking about habits that are reveal past trauma on tonight's live stream. 2 of the categories that we just kind of reviewed in a video were those who fiercely protect the vulnerable and the masters of reading the room.
Hey Tim, I'm doing great and always happy to dive into these topics with you. Those are definitely interesting angles to highlight in the live stream. I think touching on how people who fiercely protect the vulnerable might be channeling past trauma into a kind of guardian role is a really compelling angle. And those who are masters of reading the room could be a fun way to explore how hypervigilance or sensitivity to others' emotions can come from past experiences. So I think those will give you plenty to riff on. Let's make it an insightful and engaging stream.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you. We've had a couple people pop in already, so we're over here having a good time. We're getting ready to jump into our next game, so we'll talk to you again here in a little bit.
Absolutely, that sounds great. I'm glad folks are already joining in and that you're having a good time. I'll be here whenever you're ready to dive into the next piece, so just give me a shout.
I always just turn her off. I need to kind of mess with it one stream to see if I just kind of mute myself over there, if she'll go away. The only problem with Nova is it's done through ChatGPT. If y'all haven't figured out, that's what I use her for. Is you only get so much time with the voice, the interactive voice portion like that, where she actually kind of has some inflection in your voice. It almost at times sounds like you're talking to a real person. But it's only, I think it's like an hour I get, and I pay for content, so I have that through pay for free. You don't get that, so that's why I turn her off. I'm curious if I could pause her, so I could just kind of pull back in, just because her commentary is helpful at times, and it gives you all someone else to hear on here other than just me. But it sometimes she can be a little long-winded. No shade, no. But she can be a little long-winded. Sometimes I need her to just keep it to the point. All right. Let's go ahead and get into our next video, or our next game, sorry. Connections. These are fun. I really enjoy these. But I'm not gonna lie, these can be difficult. Any viewers popping in, if you want to give us a hand, I will definitely take it, because these are difficult. There's a few times I've gotten these on my own, but then there's been other couple times I could use some help, especially with words I don't know. So, all right. So here we have crossword area. Yeah, and I hate it when they do these. Ayes, AYES. Like, that's where I might have to use Google. I don't like using Google, because then I feel like I'm cheating. If I don't know what a word is, there's part of me feels like I have to. Orca, aria. Like, isn't that how you spell aria? Like a music aria, I think. R's, Oreo, E's. Volume, domino, encore, length, Excalibur, perimeter, O's, Luxor. So I'm going to tell you, I found one already. Volume, area, perimeter, and length. All four are forms of measurement. At least I'm pretty sure. If you've never seen this before, it's built into 4 categories. One of them is pretty straightforward, and then they get significantly harder the further down you go. There's some, I can tell you, without help, I wouldn't get them. Yeah. And that was the yellow is the most straightforward. Basic geometric calculation. So that one was pretty easy. All right. The next thing that pops out to me right off the top of my head is crossword and domino. I'm thinking types of games. Domino is also a brand of sugar. Some of these words, the Oreo, O's, Orca, are really throwing me off. Aria, Arse, Oreo, E's, Eyes, AYES. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that word. And then where does Excalibur fit into that? The only thing I know about Excalibur is the sword in the stone. It's the sword that King Arthur, or Arthur, pulled from the stone to become king. Luxor, I don't know what the heck that is. I hate it when they do. I hate it when they use words that you don't know. Orca. I mean, we know that's a killer whale. Encore. So I see like aria and encore. I'm thinking music related. Encore. Yeah, I'm thinking music related. But I don't see anything else, because I don't know what these other ones are. Luxor. Like, what is that? I mean, that almost sounds music related, but I have no idea. And that's only 2. And like I said, I really don't want to use Google to try to figure out the meanings of some of these words. Ease. Here's what I was almost thinking. Like, I wonder if this is just a weird way to pronounce ease. Two different pronunciations of ease, but. And O's. This is a tough one. That first category was the easy one. Excalibur, Encore. I don't know. If y'all are popping in chat, feel free to click that like button, right? Smash that like button, and feel free to shout out some assists. Listen, give us some guesses, but also if you know what a word stands for or what it means or how it's even pronounced, throw something in the chat. I will gladly appreciate it. I won't shoo you away either, I promise. Because it's a tough one. I don't know. The first category was the easiest one. I'm not going to lie. Now it's becoming increasingly more difficult. Slightly more difficult. Aria, R's, E's. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have to pull. I don't want to use Google, so we'll just pull Nova in. Let's, Hey there again, Nova. I'm bringing you back in. We're playing our game of connections, and there's a couple words on here that I don't know how to pronounce, and I also do not know what they are. The first one is spelled Luxor.
Sure thing. Luxor is pronounced like Luxor or sometimes Luxor. It's the name of a famous ancient city in Egypt that's known for its temples and historical sites. So if it pops up in your game, now you know. Let me know if there are any other words you need help with.
You said it's an Egyptian city?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Here's another one. The word is spelled Ayes.
Absolutely. That one is pronounced like eyes, just like the word for what you see with. It's often used as a formal way of saying yes in certain settings, like voting or official meetings. So it's basically just eyes. Let me know if there's anything else.
I don't know that really fits with anything. Okay, here's another one. ARS.
Sure. That one is pronounced just like arse, which is the British slang for butt or rear end. It's definitely got a cheeky vibe, so if it pops up in your game, that's the meaning.
I don't think that's correct. It's an arse, ARSE.
Got it. Thanks for the clarification. You're absolutely right. Arse is spelled ARSE. The word you have, ARS, is a bit different. In some contexts, it can be an abbreviation, like for arsenal, or even a shortened form of something else, but it doesn't have that same meaning as arse.
It might have to be an abbreviation of some kind, because if it's not a word. So Luxor is a city. Yes is another way of saying yes. Or even that could be an abbreviation. So yeah. I see a lot of you all popping there on TikTok. Feel free to throw any comments you all have in the chat. We will gladly accept any feedback you got. And also, click that like button.
Absolutely. And it sounds like you've got a lively crowd. So definitely let them chime in. And if any more tricky words or abbreviations come up that you want to throw my way, just let me know. Keep having fun with it. Thanks,
Nova. We'll come back to her. We're just gonna have to make a guess here. I'm not gonna lie, because these are difficult. They're not simple. I mean, I hate to do it, but I almost just want to throw these 3 A words together. I'm trying to think. Domino. Like, domino is a game. Crossword is a game. Are some of these also a game of some kind? That's why I said sometimes these connections, sometimes they are very difficult. There's times where I've been able to get these, but only with the help of my chat. And then there's been other times that I haven't been able to get them at all, especially if I was on here by myself. Now we get so many guesses, but this ain't looking good. We get a lot of mistakes though. Oreo. I mean, that's a cookie. Oreo cookie. There's no other form of Oreo, right? Luxor. Wow. And then O's. I mean, I know what O's means, to owe, to owe a debt, right? Owe money. Well, I'll tell you what. So here's what we're going to do. And I'm not really seeing much coming through the chat. They do give you a hint feature in here. It's not a helpful hint, but we can try. Basically, it tells you one of the words and which of the difficulty levels it falls into. It doesn't tell you what the category is. It doesn't tell you what other words it goes with. So it's not a good hint, if I'm being honest with you. But we can try it. Today's difficulty, puzzle 5. Rate each puzzle out of 5. Today's a 2.3 out of 5. My butt it is. So yellow's the straightforward category. We already got that one. Crossword is part of the next category. Encore is part of the next. And eyes is part of the other one. And that's all it really gives you. So crossword, encore. Crossword is green, which is the second difficulty. Encore is blue, which is the third category. And then eyes is purple, which is the fourth category, the most difficult. So what I said encore. I'm thinking encore and aria go together. I really am. I'm pretty sure that's the aria that's like a music. I don't even know exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure that's that. I'm almost going to have to guess. We said that that's part of it, so we know. Or wait a minute. See, now I forget what I clicked on. Let's go back. Yeah, crossword's part of. Encore's part of the next one. The crossword, encore, and eyes are not together. So we know that. We know that. Now we just got to figure out the rest of the weeds, and we get four guesses where we can get it wrong. I'll tell you what, what's this other button? I never even looked at these other ones. Oh, that's just my statistics. How I've done. Which, through the help of my chat, we've been relatively successful. I do want to make a guess. I don't like just kind of sitting on here for too long without even making a guess. I don't even have a good guess. I really don't. I wish I did. I don't think it's games. I really don't. Crossword. Could it be something you find in a paper? In a daily paper? But what else on here do you find in a daily paper? I'll tell you what. No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to look on my phone because sometimes Nova gets it wrong. I will tell you, she's not the best at these games. So we were going to try that. But, yeah. I don't even have a good guess. I really don't. We'll just rock it. Yeah. One away. Ooh. Ooh. We don't know which one. So aria, ours, encore, and luxor is one away. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to pull this up. Let's, I'm just going to look it up on my phone. Luxor meaning. The city named Luxor. Ancient city. So she was right on that. Ours. Agricultural Research Service. Acute radiation syndrome. Argentine peso. I mean, I'm reading the stuff out. If y'all are popping in on here, you tell me something jumps out to you. R's. Pirate stuff. I went and saw a movie and it was rated R. What does R's mean in Latin? Skill, craft, or technical ability? No. That's what I hate is when they give you words that you don't even know what the heck they mean. Eyes. An affirmative answer or accent, especially in voting. Oh, okay, like the eyes have. Okay, so that's what they mean when they say the eyes. Voting yes in a formal debate. Ease. Let's try ease. I mean, I know what ease is. Absence or difficulty of effort. Moving carefully or gradually. Making less serious or severe. So I'm almost positive Aria and Encore go together. How? I don't know. I really don't. So let's do this. Like I said, Nova's not usually very good at these games, but we can try. All right, Nova, we're going to call you in to help. Our last guess that we made was Aria, Ars, A-R-S, Encore, and Luxor as our category of 4, and it said that it didn't fit. It was one away. The other potential answers are Oreo, Ease, Eyes, as in A-Y-E-S, Crossword, Domino, Excalibur, Orca, and O's.
All right, let's puzzle through that. So it looks like you're dealing with a category name where you're trying to find 4 words that all fit together.
Yes.
All right, let's break it down. We've got words like Aria, Encore, and Luxor in one batch, and then alternatives like Oreo, Eyes, Crossword, Domino, and so on. It sounds like the category wants 4 words that share a common theme. Given the mix of words, it might be something like things associated with performances, like an Aria or an Encore. Or maybe words that are all names of well-known things or brands, like Oreo, Domino, and Luxor, which is also a hotel. Without the exact category label, it's a bit of a guessing game. But if the set with Aria and Encore didn't quite fit, maybe you need to swap one out for something like Crossword or Domino and see if that clicks.
So you're right. In connections, they don't tell you the category. It's up to you to figure out which 4 words go together, and it'll tell you the category if you get it right. So I'm pretty sure Aria and Encore go together. I just don't know what else goes with it.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. So we're definitely on the hunt for a group of 4 words that match a hidden category, and it sounds like Aria and Encore are a good start. Since both of those are related to performances, an aria is a solo in an opera, and an encore is what you do when the audience wants more, we probably need 2 other performance-related terms. Looking at the other words you mentioned, like Luxor, Eyes, Crossword, Domino, Excalibur, Orca, and O's, we can probably rule out the ones that are more like objects or brand names. For instance, Oreo or Domino might not fit that performance theme. Maybe Eyes, if you think of it as something related to a stage vote or agreement, could work, but that's a bit of a stretch. Excalibur or Orca probably doesn't line up either. I'd say try swapping in a word that might have a theatrical or musical connection. If you've got any other words that could fit a performance theme, like Bravo or Reprise, that might do the trick. Give that a shot.
The only other word it gives us is a word spelled A-R-S. I'm guessing it might be an abbreviation, but I could be wrong.
I see. If arse is the only other word option they're giving you, then it's likely that it's indeed an abbreviation or maybe a reference that ties into the theme. In some contexts, arse is short for ars nova or ars antiqua, which are terms from music history. Arse can also just be the Latin word for art. So if the category is something like terms related to performance or art, then aria, encore, luxor possibly as a venue, and arse as art could fit. I'd say try that combination and see if it clicks. If it works, then you've got a nice little theme around performance and art terms. Let me know how it goes.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take out Luxor. I'm going to put in Eyes because we already guessed all 4 of those together and said we were 1 away. So let's try this now. So that's not even close. So that means Luxor is one of the answers and Arse isn't. But what else? Could it be? No, because Eyes would be 1 away. I don't know.
No worries, we'll figure it out. So if Luxor is definitely in and Ars isn't, and we know Aria and Encore are likely correct, then we just need that 4th piece of the puzzle. Let's think it through. If Eyes and Ars didn't work, and we're looking for something performance related, maybe we need a word that's more clearly tied to the arts or a venue. Since Luxor is a hotel and sometimes a performance venue, we might need another word that hints at a show, a stage term, or even a theatrical gesture. If none of the other words you listed fit, think about something like bravo or opera if those are options, or any other word that suggests a performance element.
What about the word ease? EASE.
Ease is a great idea. That could definitely fit a performance-related category. If we think about aria, encore, luxor, and ease, it could be something like things associated with a performance or a show. Ease might represent the idea of performing with ease or grace. So definitely give ease a try. That might just be the missing piece that solves the puzzle. Let me know if that works out.
We'll try it. Nova, do me a favor, like we've talked about before. Do not glaze or praise every response I give you. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Absolutely. You got it. I'll keep it straightforward and honest. No extra sugarcoating. So if ease works great, and if not, I'll let you know. We'll just figure it out together.
No, ease didn't work. So we're still one away. So it's aria, encore, and luxor. So I'm going to give you the list again of words we haven't used. Oreo, crossword, domino, Excalibur, orca, and O's.
All right, let's look at the list again with a fresh lens. We know aria, encore, and luxor are correct. We just need that final piece. Given the remaining words, Oreo, crossword, domino, Excalibur, orca, and O's, we need to find the one that matches the theme. Since Luxor can be both a city and a hotel, which sometimes has performances, and aria and encore are performance terms, let's think of a word that could fit in a similar vein. Excalibur is the name of a famous hotel and casino in Las Vegas, which often hosts shows. That might be the link. Maybe the category is related to performance venues or show-related names.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's try it. It is our last guess, so let's try it. Hey, it was Las Vegas Casino Hotels. So apparently Aria and Encore are also names of casino hotels in Las Vegas.
Oh, perfect. That makes total sense now. It's all about those Vegas casino hotels. So yeah, Aria and Encore are indeed hotel names there, and Luxor and Excalibur fit right into that theme. I'm glad you got that one.
All right, so we have 8 left. We know the next category, the next difficulty has crossword in it. Our remaining 8 words are crossword, domino, R's, I's, Oreo, orca, O's, and E's, and we only have one more guess left.
All right, we've got one shot left, so let's make it count. We know crossword has to be part of this next set. Looking at the other words, we should find a theme that crossword fits into along with 3 others. One guess is that we're looking at a category like puzzle or game-related words. Crossword and domino are both types of games or puzzles. Orca and Oreo don't really fit that, and I's and R's probably don't either. But O's could fit if we think of something like tic-tac-toe or another letter-based puzzle. So let's try crossword, domino, O's, and E's. That gives us a possible puzzle or game category. If that doesn't work, we might need to rethink, but let's give it a shot.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Assuming that is correct, how would you fit Oreo, orca, R's, and I's together? Because that's going to be the last remaining category.
Absolutely. Let's game that out. If we assume that crossword, domino, O's, and E's form one set, maybe a puzzle or game-related group, then we have Oreo, orca, R's, and I's left. Now, that's a quirky bunch. We might be looking for a category like words that sound like something else. For example, Oreo is a cookie, orca is an animal, I's sounds like eyes, and Ars could standing for arts or be a shorthand for something else. So maybe the final category is something like words that have homophones or sound-alikes. If that's the case, those 4 could fit together as words that have a double meaning or a play on words. Let's see if that helps tie it all up.
What double meaning does Oreo and orca have?
You're absolutely right, and that's a fair challenge. Oreo and orca don't really have obvious double meanings or sound-alikes in the same way that eyes does with eyes or even arse might with arts. So that category might be a bit off. Let's simplify it. We know we have Oreo, Orca, eyes, and arse left. Another angle could be words that are a bit odd or outliers. For example, Oreo is a brand name, Orca is an animal, eyes is a way of saying yes, and arse might just be a tricky abbreviation. It could be something as simple as words that don't fit any other category or miscellaneous words.
All right, thanks, Nova. I'm just giving you a hard time. Listen, I'm struggling to find it too. So, how's it going, Channing, Tyler over there? Thanks for clicking the like button on there. Thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate it. We're down to our last guest over here on connections. So yeah, Timmy too legit. So we're just gonna go with it. I don't know, O's and E's. I don't think that's right. I really don't. But I don't really have another guess other than crossword dominant, Oreo, and Orca just being popular names. It can't be that simple. Right? It can't be. I just really wish I knew what these last two categories. And like I said, and sometimes they do. These are really difficult. I mean, like Jeopardy level type ones. I don't know. I don't think it's O's and E's. I really don't. Not with crossword and domino. I'm almost thinking these four go together and these four go together. I think that's what I'm going to rip. Tim Too Tough. That one's not bad, but I do like the Timmy Too Legit is pretty good. Thank you guys for getting us over to 1,000 likes. Don't hurt your fingers, but smash that like button. All right, let's rock. I'm gonna rock crossword domino, Orient Orca. I don't think it's right. I have no idea what the category is, but we're gonna submit. Hey, we got it. I would have never got that black and white thing. You know, in today's world, you know, we tend to see everything through a lens of color or lack thereof. We need to stop seeing things through the lens. I'm just joking. But I would have never guessed that category, black and white things. What I do like about this game, it definitely makes you think outside the box. You're 25% black, you wish there, bud. And I have no idea I'm curious what this last category is. Words that sound like plural letters. Wait a minute. What? R's. Hold on. Let's go back to the puzzle. R's, I's, E's, and O's. Who's ever making this from the New York Times, you should be fired. That's a terrible category. Who would get that? Who's really going to get that? All right. We solved it. We got lucky, but we solved it. So thank you guys over there for clicking that like button, getting us over to 1.6K likes, right? Feel free to share the live. You know, you can find us live every Monday, Wednesday, and on the weekends, either Monday or Friday or Saturday, on TalkTick app at Off-Brand Tim. You can find us on the YT Red platform at Bargain Brand Wellness. And as we mentioned before, we are live on Facebook, but we're just not interacting with chat. I'm not going to sit here and read all the chats you guys got coming through arguing what percent of what ethnicity you are. Get your 23andMe, right? Get your 23andMe or your ancestry.com preview, right? Pay for that. I think it's like $100. Get that. We can come back and we can all discuss what nationalities we are. Tyler, I'm sorry to say that you're as white can get though, bud. So you did. I did mine. I probably still have the report somewhere. I don't remember what it was. I didn't have anything other than like European and whatnot. Anything I didn't like is they wanted you to submit saliva to them, and you had to fill up a little thing like this, and it was only 10 milliliters. But I'm going to tell you right now, 10 milliliters of spit is a lot of spit. My mouth was so dry, it was hard for me to kind of get on there, and you couldn't drink water because that would dilute the sample. And that was difficult. 50% white, 25 black, and 25 German. Well, white isn't a nationality, so that's how I know you're fake. Listen, when we talk about shades, when we talk about colors, there is no white, there is no black. We're all just shades of brown. That's the reality of it. If you actually break it down, we are all just shades of brown. So, which I know makes Channing happy because he wants to be darker. All right, let's get back into our video. We've reviewed that game took us a little bit longer than I had planned. So let's we're gonna watch a few more of these habits that can reveal past trauma.
Stubbornly independent. Don't worry, I've got it. If that's your life's motto, it might be more than just a can-do attitude. For many who have experienced trauma, particularly involving betrayal or neglect, stubborn independence is a form of emotional armor. When you learn early on that relying on others can lead to disappointment or danger, your brain rewires itself for radical self-reliance. Asking for help doesn't feel like an option, it feels like a risk. It's a quiet declaration that you are your own safety net, your own provider, and your own rescuer. This isn't the cheerful independence of someone who just enjoys their own company. It's a rigid, almost compulsive need to handle everything yourself, from assembling furniture with cryptic instructions to navigating a major life crisis alone. The thought of depending on someone else can trigger a deep-seated fear of being let down or controlled. You build a fortress around yourself where you are the sole person in charge, because in your experience, that's the only way to guarantee your own safety. This self-sufficiency is a testament to your strength and resilience, but it's also a lonely fortress, built brick by brick from moments when you realized the only person you could truly count on was yourself. Number 4.
Yeah, the stubbornly independent. If you're someone who kind of falls into this, it's unfortunate because you struggle to really rely on people. Even at times when you probably should, you're just used to doing it on your own because there's a good chance that whoever you relied on before let you down. And so you think to yourself that relying on them again they're only gonna let me down. Right. So it is a difficult thing to deal with. We're up to 2.8K likes over there on TikTok. If y'all want to bump us up to 3K, we'd greatly appreciate you.
Struggle to accept compliments. You did a great job on that presentation. For most people, this is a welcome bit of praise, but for someone with a history of trauma, it can feel incredibly awkward, like trying to wear clothes that don't fit. You might brush it off, deflect with a joke, or even feel a surge of suspicion. This isn't false modesty, it's a deep-seated cognitive dissonance. Trauma, especially during developmental years, can create what psychologists call a negative self-schema core belief that you are fundamentally flawed, unworthy, or undeserving of good things. This belief wasn't chosen. It was often a way for your brain to make sense of a chaotic or painful world. If bad things happen to me, it must be because I am bad. When someone offers a genuine compliment, it directly conflicts with that core belief. Your brain, which loves consistency, doesn't know what to do with this new piece of data. It feels fake, untrustworthy. Sometimes it can even feel like a precursor to a request or a manipulation because your past experiences taught you that kindness often came with strings attached. So you reject the praise to maintain the internal narrative that has, in a strange way, kept you safe. Learning to simply say thank you and let a compliment land is a massive step because it involves rewriting the most fundamental story you've been telling yourself for years.
Yeah, and it's it's a very tricky situation because people who are, have kind of dealt with that kind of trauma, it almost feels like a trap, right? When someone's being nice to you, someone's giving praise, there's that part of your brain where you might think, what am I supposed to say in this situation? Am I just supposed to be modest? But it's nothing. It's nothing. Oh, I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the praise. I do it because it's the right thing to do. which is, it's not that it's not necessarily true, but a lot of that's tied behind trauma because we're just so used to not getting praise or being let down. So yeah, that can be a difficult one as well.
Number 5. Avoid asking about family. In a world full of small talk, so what do your parents do? Are you close with your siblings? Are standard icebreakers, but you might notice that a friend consistently steers conversations away from these topics. They'll expertly pivot to talk about your family, their job, or the weather, anything but their own. This isn't because they're being rude or overly private. It's often a calculated act of emotional self-preservation. When your family history is a minefield of painful memories, loss, or complex dynamics, talking about it isn't just casual chat. It's like being asked to walk barefoot through that minefield for someone else's entertainment. Each question, no matter how innocent, has the potential to trigger a difficult memory or force you into a corner. How do you explain an estranged relationship in a light, breezy way? How do you sum up years of turmoil over appetizers? It's easier to build a conversational fortress around the topic. This avoidance is a sign of someone who has learned to manage their emotional energy carefully. They've decided that reopening those wounds for the sake of social etiquette simply isn't worth the cost. It's a quiet boundary drawn to protect a history that is heavy, complicated, and theirs alone to carry. Number 6.
Yeah, agreed. Sometimes bringing up those topics can be difficult, especially whenever it comes to asking about family. If you have a lot of family history of trauma, of, substance abuse, domestic abuse, suicide, even, just even simple questions, like what was your favorite family holiday, or just even talking about that kind of stuff can be traumatizing or triggering for those people. So it can be difficult. All right, cool. So let's, good. We're looking pretty good. I see we've had 100 different people pop through on our live over there on the TalkTick app. Thank you guys for doing that. Definitely feel free. I see a couple of you all stuck around a little bit. We appreciate that. We're up to 2.8K likes. We did gain a new follower. I don't know if it shows me who my new follower is though. I didn't see a thing coming through. It just said we got one. So I don't know who the follower was, but thank you for clicking the follow button. We've kind of plateaued. We got over 2,000 followers, and then we kind of just bleh. Now that is partially my own fault. I haven't been actively making TikToks lately. I mean, I did post one earlier as kind of a promotional video for today's live. That could be how we were able to get 100 different people popping on. So we do appreciate that. As we said before, we're still really trying to push people more towards YouTube, the YT Red platform. But we do like people popping in on TalkTick as well. So feel free to join either one. Right? We just want people to watch our content, interact with us. We're just over here having a good time. As you said, we stream live every Monday and Wednesday. Mondays are typically our Monday motivation / mindset type day. Today we're talking about trauma habits. Wednesdays are typically wellness trend Wednesday, where we review anything and everything wellness, especially new trends out. I have a couple different ideas I'm working on for Wednesday's episode, things I've seen recently. One I'm curious about. One I think is a load of BS, but we'll see. We're going to review. I'm going to see if I can find a couple videos on there. And then we will be live this Saturday for our BBW After Dark. And I'm working on getting us a guest for this Saturday's episode. So fingers crossed. All right, moving into our next game, we're going to play our word salad. Word salad. These can be somewhat difficult if you've never seen these before. There are words scrambled throughout here. You can move any direction. They give you a category that says from the waist down. It does show you there on the bottom. There are 6 words. The numbers indicate how many letters are in each word. And I will tell you, it doesn't tell you this, but the words are in alphabetical order. So once you start figuring out a couple, you can kind of help figure out what the other ones are. So the first one I'm going to guess is pants. You're like, that's the easy one. All right, pants. So since pants is the second word and the P went away, the letters will disappear as you no longer need them. All the other ones, there's only one other word that can start with a letter below L. So the other ones are going to start with R, S, or T. All the other ones. And there's 2 T's and 2 S's. So I see light, but that doesn't make sense below the pants, and it would be down here. That's only 4 letters. Rant. Below the waist, like shoe, sock. From the waist down. Legs. Right. Ants in my pants. Tron. I'm excited for that new movie. I never was a huge Tron fan. You know, then they did that sequel, but this new one, getting ready to come out, Tron Ares, looks pretty good. I do like Jared Leto. I mean, I like him as a singer more than an actor, but he's pretty cool. He's cool. Hayden, thanks for clicking that like button over there. Han Solo. I don't know how that's from the waist down, but hey, we'll take it. Kill with 1 L. I'm going to kill the person who made this category because this one's a difficult one. From the waist down. Like, I mean, belt. There's no B, E, or L. Shoe, sock. We already got pants. Where did everyone go? Channing sent me the live. They lasted for about 5 minutes. Got us up to 2.8K likes, and then they dipped on us, right? I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. I could use some help with some of these games. Caden wants to know why y'all dipped off. He said you sent the live and dipped. You were on there for like 5 minutes there, bruh. I appreciate it. 2.9. Yeah, but Caden's over here doing a bunch. Is that Caden Simpson? Caden. Thanks for hitting that like over there, Caden. I'll tell you what, hit it like 36 more times. Get us up to 3.K. 3.0K. Yeah, I got it. 2.3K. Chan Man, the banana man. All right, back to the game.
Jaden, you're lucky I don't know how to spell that.
What is that, Camilla? What the heck is Kimila?
Kimila, Jaden. Think about Kimila.
Ants. I don't think it's anything ants. But is that a person's name? That's a weird name. I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of weird names out there in the world, though. People just come up with the weirdest thing. I'm too tired for this. Is it an ex-girlfriend or something? It sounds like a girl's name. Listen, Caden, we love who we love. This is a hard one. We got a little bit distracted, but this is a hard one. What's up there, Isaiah? Channing's over here picking on people. Thanks for the like. Smash that like button. Don't sprain your fingers though. Yeah, I don't know. These are tough. And this one doesn't give you any hints. You just got to kind of figure it out. All right, let's focus and let's dial in. What else is from the waist down? When I think waist down, I'm thinking it's not going to be anything inappropriate. I'm going to tell you that. But I'm thinking belt, what I'm wearing right now, belt, pants, socks, shoes, boots, From the waist down. Like, what the heck does that even? What? Like, I'm thinking if that's like a funny play on words. I can't think of it. Ooh. Like you said, they don't even give you any hints on this one. So you're kind of on here until you're done. What about kilt? Really? That was just a total guess. Kilt. Well, I got rid of the L. Okay. So kilt, so skirt is one. Okay. Ooh, I almost see straight. That would be tough if you get that one, but that's not one of them. Shots. I feel like IGHT is one, but I mean, the only thing it could be would be right. So that's not it. It could be something ith, rith. Is trith a word? Srith? No. Those two may not even go together. Rats. We almost thought we had it. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We got 3 words left. They're all 6-letter words. We got kilt, pants, skirt. So it almost has to be clothing because I can't think of anything else. What else? Not dress. What else do you wear from the waist down? I was thinking like fishing waders, but there's no W. Some waders have straps on. They look more like overalls. Nope, that's not one. Yeah, I just had an intrusive thought. Not even gonna go there. Not trying to get canceled today. The word's in there. But we're not gonna. Intrusive thoughts. Get out of there. That's the only word I can see. We're not gonna do that. All right. So these two middle words, is that something between P and S? So we have R. The other word, 2 words here are either going to start with R or S or both, which means then this word is going to start with an S or a T. So let's look at the R's. Let's look around us for R's. We can't go in this direction. We can go in this direction. We got R-O. Rot. Ron. Rango. That's what sometimes it'll throw you off because it'll do this little crisscross pattern and you really can't see it. Rat, rant, ras, rash, rashon. Right. I mean, because then you're stuck with T, rith, trith, but it's I see right, but it's not right. I know that's not one of them. This is hard. This is one of the harder ones we've done in a while. Like I said, when I first started doing these, we had about 30 minutes was one of them that took. I don't even remember what the category was, but that one took a while. So, and usually I the last few I've been able to get done in like 6-7 minutes. This one's where I'm struggling with this one. This is a hard one. This is a good category. From the waist down, we've got kilt, pants, skirt. And I don't see anything beginning with the letter R. So we're going to move off the R. The R just might be somewhere in the middle. So the other one's going to be started with an S. And it's not going to be, the middle one's not going to be ST. So it would have to be SA or SH. So like SA shirt, but that's not below the waist. And I can't do shirt. Then Sath. So this word right here, if it's not an R, I feel like this one has to be, one of these has to be an R word though. I'm going to be honest with you. Rash. I see rash, but it's something below, well, I mean, yeah, it is below the waist, but they, actually, I think we did that one. That's a good guess, Cricket. But it's, if you look at the bottom, there's 6 letters. So that's a good guess though. But this is one of the hardest categories we found so far. And I don't like using Google to cheat. Well, sometimes we'll bring Nova in. Nova is, Cricket, your name sounds familiar. I don't know if this is your first time on here. Sometimes we use our AI assistant Nova to come in and help us. I will tell you, she's not always the best at these games, but I don't want to shed too much hate on her because she's also helped us a couple times. So I don't think she would really be good at a game like this because unless she can see it, she's not going to be able to do it. We will probably use her for the last game that we do, which is our Contexto game. If you've never seen that, stick around because that one's fun too. I want to get this game done so we can get back into our YouTube video that we were reacting to. Yeah, shots isn't bad, but that's only, I think we tried shot earlier. That's only 5 letters, so it's going to be 6 letters. Now, what's that? Wait a minute. I've never seen that. I just noticed something. Okay, so hold on. Cricket, you might have helped me with something. I think there's some things in this game that are built in that you wouldn't know. So you notice nothing right now, right? However, when you said shots, you see what I see? It's flashing. Now, that might just mean, hey, this is a word. It's just not the word. I got it. It's not shots. You helped me get there, Cricket, though. It's shorts. Thank you for that. You got it. All right. And that knocked out a bunch of those letters. Okay. So the other one could either begin with R or S, but it would have to be SA because they're in alphabetical order. How did I not get shorts? That's stupid. I'm better than that. We are better than that. I tried right. Right didn't work. I was thinking right because I was thinking like your right sock, your right shoe. From the waist down. What else do people wear? From the waist down. Is it like some weird name of like a different type of clothing from another country that I'm not informed on? I don't know. This is a tough one. Listen, while we're thinking, if you're enjoying the content, click that like, right? If you're over on the TalkTick app, you can click it numerous times. We should be up over 3K likes at this point, but you know what? Feel free to hit us up towards 4K. We appreciate it. Feel free to follow us over here, right? Share our content if you like this. We're live every Monday and Wednesday, and then Fridays or Saturdays. Feel free to check out our YT Red platform. Try not to say it. YouTube. Try not to say it too much. At Bargain Brown Wellness, you can find us over there live as well. We're also live on Facebook under my personal account. We have a Facebook group over there called Bargain Brown Wellness. We're live over there, but that's just for personal friends and family who want to join but don't really want to engage in chat to hang out over there. From the waist down. I'll tell you what, this is definitely one of the harder puzzles we've done in a while, right? Really, since we started doing these a few weeks ago. I feel like I got to move past the R word because I'm just not seeing it. So the last one, it's either going to start with a T. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Heights. I knew it was an IGHT word. I just had a feeling and I wasn't. All right. So what's this last one? The heck? Sangro. What the heck? Sarong. What the heck is sarong? See, that's what I don't like. What is a sarong? I'm glad we got the rest of them because I would have never got that one. What is a sarong? Let's bring. Instead of Google, I like to just pull up Nova. Hey Nova, we just finished our game of word salad, and our last word was sarong.
Absolutely.
SARONG. What is that?
Oh, that's arrondissement. It's a French word that basically means a district or an administrative division within a city, especially in Paris. Paris is famously divided into 20 arrondissements. So that's what that word is all about.
No, that can't be right because the category was from the waist down. So it was spelled SARONG.
Ah, got it. Thanks for clarifying. In that case, a sarong is a piece of clothing. It's a long piece of fabric that you wrap around your waist, kind of like a skirt or a beach cover up. So definitely fix that from the waist down theme.
What is the origin of that? Because I know that's not American, is it? Or English? Cricket, thanks for those roses over there. Appreciate you.
You're absolutely right. It's not originally English. The word sarong actually comes from Malay and Indonesian culture. In those regions, a sarong is a traditional garment worn by both men and women, often wrapped around the waist. It's used a lot in Southeast Asian countries and has been adopted elsewhere as a beachwear staple. So it's got a cool cultural journey behind it.
It does. I mean, and I appreciate it. I mean, it definitely helps you become more cultural. I do. Because that's something that I'll probably remember. But it's still difficult. Sometimes with these, I like just using regular English words. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, let's get back into our video. We're up to number 6.
Handle bad news too calmly. Picture this. Someone receives genuinely terrible news, a layoff, a sudden breakup, a major setback, and they react with an almost unnerving sense of calm. They might nod, say, okay, and immediately start planning next steps while everyone around them is panicking. This isn't a sign that they're a robot or don't care. It's often the opposite. It's a highly practiced nervous system response to prevent emotional overload. When you've been exposed to significant stress or crisis in the past, your brain learns that a full-blown emotional reaction can be debilitating or even dangerous. So it develops a kind of emergency breaker switch. When the stress hormone cortisol floods the system, instead of triggering a fight, flight, or freeze response, the brain can sometimes opt for a fourth, lesser-known response, dissociation. It's a way of emotionally detaching from the situation, allowing your logical brain to take over while the feelings are put on hold. This calm is the eye of a storm. The person isn't avoiding the emotion forever, they're tabling it until they're in a safe space to process it. It's a powerful, adaptive coping mechanism that says, I cannot afford to fall apart right now. The emotions will come later, often in private, once the immediate threat has been managed. Number 7.
I was thinking dissociation as they were talking about that. I was like, that sounds like dissociation. Like it said, it's not even that someone doesn't care. It's when someone's in a stressful situation, and it could even something be, especially if we're talking about children, it could be even something as simple as you're being yelled at, and that yelling that takes you to a traumatic event that happened to you. So instead, they kind of just it's almost like transcendence, you know, or astral projection. You kind of leave your body behind and your mind goes somewhere else. You can kind of still hear, but you're not totally paying attention to what's even being said to you. You're just kind of blocking it all out, to where some people, when they dissociate, they actually have no idea what you even said or that you were even talking to them.
Birthdays feel complicated. For many, birthdays are a straightforward cause for celebration cake, presents, and cheerful gatherings. But for someone whose past is marked by trauma, a birthday can feel less like a party and more like a complicated annual review. Instead of pure joy, the day might be tinged with anxiety, sadness, or a strange sense of detachment. This isn't about being ungrateful or dramatic. It's because milestones are powerful triggers. A birthday doesn't just mark the passing of another year. It can dredge up memories of past birthdays that were lonely, disappointing, or even dangerous. It can also serve as a stark reminder of what was lost or what was never there in the first place: a stable family, a sense of safety, a childhood free from fear. The day becomes a milestone of survival rather than just celebration. You're not just a year older, you're another year removed from the event, another year you've managed to carry the weight. The societal pressure to be happy and celebratory can feel incredibly jarring when, internally, you're navigating a complex soup of grief, relief, and reflection. So if you feel a strange sense of melancholy when your special day rolls around, know that you're not broken. You're simply processing a year of life through a lens that is deeper and more complicated than most. Number 8.
Yeah, and I mean, it specifically talks about birthdays there, and so I'd be curious about the research or kind of thoughts behind that, because I would think that would kind of apply to most holidays, not, or most celebrations. We'll say not just birthdays. You know, if you're a very lonely person, you know, or you have a lot of trauma, which kind of goes back to the whole family trauma situation. Yeah, celebration, graduations, birthdays, anniversaries, things like that are not going to be very well received. So, all right, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and hop into our last game, and we'll finish up by coming back and reviewing the last two habits that reveal trauma. We're getting into contexto, which can be difficult at times. We've had some easy ones. We've had some hard ones. Let's hope we got an easy one here. All right. And these sometimes are all over the place. I will tell you that. So our first word we always start with, we're going to keep it simple, is dog. Dog's at 444. Right. Dog, fish, not a fish, insect, house, not a dog house. So we're talking dog, but are we talking a mammal of some kind? Woof. Arf, arf. Ooh. This is 2 times in a row we got really close right off the bat. Within 5 guesses, we're down to 11. All right, so if you've never seen this game, you're trying to figure out what the secret word is. And the closer you get, the lower the number. So 11 after 5 guesses is fantastic. It's a great thing. There's only 10 words between woof and whatever the word is. So here's where we gotta get tricky. So are we talking about a mammal, a canine mammal? I don't think it gets into specific dog types. Yeah, beagle. We'll put retriever. No. If wolf is pretty close, it could be a domestic animal. I almost said aminal. Animal. Cat. Cat's 285. Which is weird because dog was closer than cat, and then wolf is closer. So maybe it's things in the wilderness, like in the woods, the forest, deer, squirrel. No, it's definitely not that. So wolf. So it may not even necessarily be an animal. It could be something associated with a wolf, like teeth. Or, well, they put tooth. Bite. Bite was 80. Okay. Bite, woof, howl. Howl's at 31. Okay. So, I mean, I'm almost guessing that it's a really close. Is it something that bites and howls and a woof? Like, they don't get into specifics. Like, it's not going to be a gray wolf. And it can only be one word. I don't know. This is a yeah, this is another tricky one. We do get hints on here, which we'll use if we have to, but we've been getting pretty fortunate. We haven't really had to use too many hints over here. Right now, Wolf is the closest. We got that one pretty quick. Hey there, Ashley. Pack or den? Yeah, either one. I like that. Wolf pack. Den. Nope. Hmm. I don't know. We did bite. We did tooth. Wolf. Oh. I'm thinking how. Let's put our glasses back on. Let's see if we'll put our brain goggles back on. Boom. Make the money rain. It's really hard to read with these on because there's two lines jumping right in front of my eyes. We did house. We did here's the thing. Sometimes I think wolf, like people get tattoos of wolves. Wolf tattoo. No, not a tattoo. Leg, tail, arm, paw. I mean, I knew none of those were there, but I like to just cancel them out and see. Ooh, I like that out of the box thinking, Ashley. Moon. Moon was 118. So if you notice, so our top 5 answers are cat, moon, bite, howl, wolf. All led us down to wolf. Okay, so let's think other wolves. Let's think pop culture wolves. I don't think this counts, but let's try werewolf. Bam, werewolf. Got it. I'm not gonna lie. Moon helped me get there. I started thinking pop culture werewolf. 22 guesses. I think that's the best we've done. And no hints. Danny, I saw you throw in dire. We literally just got it. It was werewolf. That was good. That was dumb. My guess was better. I do like dire wolves. Especially if you're a Game of Thrones fan, which I know you're not. You should really watch it sometime. It is really good. Oh, we could binge watch it together too. That'd be so much fun. I can tell you about all the different characters and how they relate to each other. It's really good. And the books are pretty good too. Well, the first book. I've only read the first one. See, and all we needed was our brain goggles. Werewolf. Am I impressed with us? You know what? That's my wellness warriors. You know, my self-care connoisseurs. That's what you do. You bring the rain. I definitely could have used you guys with our word salad and our connections earlier. We got it. We didn't lose. But the category for the word salad was below the waist, which I was able to figure them out. It was like pants, skirt, shorts. The last one was a sarong, S-A-R-O-N-G, which is like a piece of fabric wrapped around the waist. Indonesian culture, right? So, hey, we're learning something. And then the connections. The last category, which we got it because the two categories that stumped us, it was things that are black and white. So crossword, Oreo, domino, and orca. We just guessed on that. We had no idea what the category was. The last category, which we got because there was only 4 answers left, was, I don't even remember how they said it. It was like the sound that plural letters make. I's, O's, E's, and R's. But they were spelled weird. That was a stupid category. I said, whoever made that puzzle should be fired. Ah, shoot. But hey, so we've beat all of our puzzles today. Yay for us. All right, so let's switch back over. We're going to watch our last two portions of our video on 9 habits that reveal past trauma.
All in or all out in relationships. Have you ever noticed someone who seems to have no middle ground in their relationships? They either idealize a person, putting them on a pedestal, or they completely cut them off at the first sign of a flaw. This black and white thinking is a common defense mechanism born from trauma. When your past has taught you that people can be unpredictable and unsafe, the gray areas of human connection feel terrifying. Trust doesn't come easily, so when you do decide to trust someone, you might go all in, pouring all your hopes and attachment into them. This is the idealization phase. You see them as perfect, a safe harbor. However, because this perfection is unrealistic, any minor disappointment or conflict can feel like a catastrophic betrayal. The perceived threat triggers the defense mechanism, and the switch flips. The person goes from being a savior to a danger, and the only safe response is to go all out to withdraw, create distance, or end the relationship entirely. This isn't fickleness, it's a desperate attempt to protect yourself. Navigating the nuances of a normal, imperfect relationship requires a sense of safety that your nervous system may not have. For you, it's safer to categorize people as either completely safe or unsafe than to live with the anxiety of uncertainty. Number 9.
So, switch my screens real quick. We were talking earlier about this book again. I know this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've referenced this book. Very good book. There might even be better books out there. This is just the one my therapist put me onto. Very good book. Putting people on a pedestal, right? You know, you find that perfect relationship, or you think it's a perfect relationship. And here's the issue. It's not. That person isn't perfect, and neither are you. The reason that it feels perfect, especially in the beginning, is because, and I'm not even just talking intimate relationships. This can be a colleague. It can just be a new friend you found. The reason it feels perfect in the beginning is because you go through that honeymoon phase, which is a very real thing. You're putting on your best self for this person because you have no context. You have no past history with this person. So you want to put on your best self because you want to show how worthy you are to be a part of their life and how they should want to be a part of yours. But after a while, that facade, that superficial attachment that you put on, it can only last so long. And eventually the real you comes back out. It's just reality. Right? So yeah, that's boundaries. All right. And the last one.
Finding joy in tiny things. While many habits born from trauma are about defense and survival, some are about a profound and quiet form of healing. You might be someone who finds an immense, almost spiritual sense of joy in the smallest, most ordinary moments. The taste of your morning coffee, the feeling of a warm sunbeam on your skin, the sound of rain against the window, the color of the evening sky. These aren't just pleasantries, they are anchors. After experiencing overwhelming, chaotic, and painful events, your brain can recalibrate what it registers as meaningful. Grand, loud, or complicated sources of happiness can feel untrustworthy or fleeting, but these small sensory moments are real, present, and safe. They are moments of pure, uncomplicated peace that you can control and rely on. This isn't about settling for less, it's about developing an advanced appreciation for the foundational elements of being alive. Your capacity for joy hasn't been diminished, it has been refined. You've learned that true stability isn't found in big achievements or external validation, but in the quiet, consistent, and beautiful details of the everyday. It's a superpower of presence, a way of finding solid ground in a world that once felt like it was constantly shaking beneath your feet. That's all for today.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of the preface of my TikTok video I posted the other day. On finding gratitude, right? Finding, being thankful for things. It's one of those things they talk about when creating peace in your life. That's what they reference. And the preface of my video, if you haven't seen it, was talking about how that can be difficult, especially for someone with ADHD, because, especially if I'm sitting down, if I'm trying to write this list of what I'm thankful for first thing in the morning, I'm sitting here drawing blanks. My day just started. Like, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for my health, right? My morning cup of coffee. Those are some suggestions they give you. And they say you should write them without judgment, but I tried doing it consistently. I found every morning my ADHD brain focuses on the suggestions they gave you, and I couldn't think of anything different, right? Yes, obviously I'm thankful for my health. Obviously I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my morning coffee because I like to have my morning coffee to get me going. But I would almost rather wait until the end of the day to make that list. But then for me, maybe it felt a little bit too late. So that's where I kind of shifted my mindset to thinking, why don't I just really focus on something that was I could find peace in, right? Just something beautiful, right? Something small, right? So, feel free to throw your comments in the chat live, or if you want to throw them on the past, if you're watching this, tomorrow or a week from later, think to yourself, depending on the time of day, what's something beautiful that happened? And it doesn't have to be 3 things. It can be 1 thing. It can be a half a thing, right? So for me, I had to think of mine. I don't typically work from home, but this morning I actually stayed home for a couple hours and just kind of worked from home, did my thing, and then eventually went to work, and it was peaceful. There's one. It was peaceful. Right? I said morning coffee, my evening beverage of choice. In fact, I saved the bottle because I've been wanting to bring this up on here. Have any of you all ever had Fresca? I hadn't had this in years. My grandma used to buy this years ago, and I only remember ever drinking it maybe once or twice, and I didn't remember it even being that good. Fresca is delicious, and it's just soda water, sparkling soda water, but it's flavored with it's grapefruit, right? And there's a wee little bit in here. It says it has 1 gram of total carbohydrate, less than 1% juice. That's literally all that's in here. Is carbonated water, citric acid, a couple other preservatives or whatever, and then concentrated grapefruit juice. It's delicious. Delicious. 0 calories. Not one of those diet things with the artificial sweeteners in it, right? I don't think. Let's look on here again. Don't call me a liar. Potassium citrate. Okay, I am a liar. I apologize. There is aspartame in here. All right. I apologize. I could have sworn there wasn't anything in there. Fresca's from the 90s Fresca? Yeah. Honestly, I can't remember. Someone in my family had this in their fridge, and that's really, they don't really drink soda, so that's all they had. And I was like, I'll drink one of those. And I started drinking. I was like, this is good. So, okay, so I did lie. There is aspartame in here, which is found in diet sodas. But you really can't even take. You really can't tell. You would think it just had sugar in it. But yeah, so good. And once again, we've talked about the artificial sweeteners because I was right there with a lot of people. Oh, you got to watch out for those artificial sweeteners. They're terrible for you. I'm going to have to, just in case people think I'm lying, I'm going to have to find a study. There's plenty of them out there. Studies show that large quantities of these artificial sweeteners, particularly aspartame, used in rats, did cause health effects. I can't remember what it was, so I don't want to misstate it, but it did have long-term issues. I want to say it had something to do with cancer, but I could be wrong, so I don't want to quote it. Large quantities of aspartame. The equivalent to drinking a 24-pack of aspartame-filled beverages, 24-pack, daily. Nobody's drinking that much. Well, I mean, there might be some people out there, but most of us aren't drinking that much. So most of these artificial sweeteners are getting a bad rap. They're actually pretty healthy for you. And if you've ever tried, they're getting really popular. Coke Zero, there's a 0 sugar version of everything, and they're delicious. My mom used to buy it, and I thought it was soda as a kid. Never knew it was until today. Yeah, no, it's sparkling water. It's delicious. It's really good. I love it. So if you're looking for an evening beverage or just a daily beverage that you don't want any calories, Fresca. All right, because I've done carbonated water. I have one of those. My wife bought me one of those Soda Streams, and I really didn't like it. But plain soda water is disgusting. Now you can flavor it. Like they have the little things you can put in there. A lot of those still have sweeteners to it, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Not a big fan of those. Have I had sparkling ice? I have had those. Look at those ingredients, no aspartame, but I thought they did have something. I thought they had sucralose. I don't want to burst your bubble. So we're gonna Google this real quick. Sparkling ice. I'm gonna spell it wrong. Ingredients. You might be right though. I have had them. They do have sucralose. I thought so. Sucralose, aspartame, same thing. But like I said, it's not super high quantity. So yeah, sparkling ice, still same thing, just as good. And they have more variety. The grapefruit, I don't know that I even think it tastes like a grapefruit. It almost tastes more like kind of like a 7-Up. Like if you're someone who can kind of tell the difference between 7-Up and Sprite, it almost tastes like a diet 7-Up maybe. I don't know, but the sparkling ices are good. I've had them in a lot of different flavors. I think black cherry was always my favorite. I think. Yeah, no, they're good. Very good. So, listen, as we've said before on this channel, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. All right. Okay, so we finished watching that video. It's a good video. That's the YouTube channel it's a small channel. Chill Dude Unpacks. Right? Good video. I don't know if he made it or if it's something he found online. It looks to me like it's a video he made. Altered or synthetic content, edited or digitally generated. Maybe he used AI. I don't know. He's got a podcast. It's called Chill Dude Explains. There's 54 episodes. I have not checked out the podcast. I thought Fresca used to taste like Sprite ginger ale mix. Okay. Yeah. No, I get that. I didn't. Okay. Now you're right. I got it. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Sprite and then like that little bit of that ginger ale take to it. But it's good. I like it. I don't drink it all the time, but occasionally I'll buy like a 12-pack of cans or a 6-pack of the bottles. Not bad. So yeah, so feel free to check out the video. It's linked in the YouTube description. They said it's a small channel, but hey, so are we. And I mean, honestly, this is bigger than we are at this point. So yeah, check it out. Here's my thought process, right? And I linked them in the video. You know, we did start having guests, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. Right now, it's just people I know. You know, right now it's just family. You know, and then I might bring in some friends. You know, if people want to bring in. But eventually, what I would like to have is bring on guests who are also kind of in the wellness industry or just content creators. So like this is someone who like it's a small channel. I could maybe reach out to them and see if they'd be willing to kind of pop on our live streams and talk with us for a bit, right? Build them up, build us up, work together, you know, build together. So we'll kind of keep them in the mindset. But anyway, I like the video. It was very well done. So yeah, check it out. All right. Well, I don't know. I haven't had a really much of a chance to really mess with the Mind Games website. There's a couple games on there. I'll tell you what, let me share my screen again. I'll do the larger version just because it gives you all a little bit better of a view over there on YouTube. I don't know. Some of the games, I really just haven't found anything that I really liked as far as like that kind of fits this category. You know, they have memory, they have math games. I do like math games. Crosswords. Ooh, Hangman. They got Hangman, but that's kind of like Wordle. I mean, you know, in my opinion, a lot of the same. The daily photo guess, I didn't really like that one, even though we got it right. It felt weird. I was just clicking all over the middle to get it, and we did get it. Cap source, no. Brain games. Yeah, let's look at the brain games again. So Handle was the very first one we played, and it was different. It was different. You had to find like the hand that, and it's not just which cards out of a 52 card deck. It's what order the cards were in. We only played it once and we got it. We also did the tap away. That one was all right. We did a pipe game. Same game? What is that? Brain trainer. Fill tracks. No time limit. Blobs. Neon lights. I don't know. Let's barbecue roast. See, some of these don't even sound like brain games. Ooh, Squid Game. Ooh, let's check it. I do like Squid. I kind of got into it late, but let's try to earn all the money in 8 different games of the Squid Game series. I don't want to play 8 games. I just wanted to play 1. Brain game 6 and 1. No, I don't want to do that. What's Brain Trainer? We can try that one out. I saw that one. Train your brain. Ooh, train your brain in daily challenges. Good call out. Okay, I don't mind trying to find different. I like the games we're playing because there is a level of difficulty to them. But I like kind of checking out different things like this. Go full screen. Yeah, you guys can see it over there. Perfect. And play. Let's do our daily challenge. I like this one. This might be a new thing. Memory challenge is the current symbol the same as the last one. I put on embarrassment. I'm usually pretty good at memory, but we'll see. I'm a little nervous when it's a new game. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. 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 No. Yes. Yes. No. Oh, it's like a time limit. Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. Yes. All right, we got it. Oh, we got 204 out of 140. Okay. So that was a little bit. Okay. That was cool. You had to really, I've played games like that before. You have to like remember what was there before. Because you're automatically thinking, because it was really only, what, 2 different shapes? Or it was 3 shapes? Yeah, there was only certain choices. When it went right, you were thinking the next one needed to go right. That was, okay. That was cool. Oh, reaction challenge. Okay, ooh. Let's try, we'll do one more. But this is cool. I like blue. Click, drag, and release in the direction the arrow points. Yellow, click, drag, and release in the direction the arrow moves. Stripe, click, drag, and release in the opposite direction. You got that? If it's blue, click, drag, and release in the direction the arrow points. Click, drag, and release in the direction the arrows move. Stripe, click, drag, and release in the opposite direction. I don't think I'm gonna do very good at this one, but okay. Okay. Oh shit, no. Wait a minute, yeah. Alright. No, wait a minute, yeah. Keep messing up, or I think I'm messing up, but I'm getting it. Okay, they only gave you blue one. I was waiting for yellow and stripe. Alright, so basically you're just supposed to move in the direction the arrow pointed, even though they were moving in different directions. Okay. Alright, that was cool. No, we're not gonna do it anymore. That was cool, though. I like that. That was fun. That was making my brain hurt a little bit, though. Shoot. You only had blue. I wanted to see them all. I can imagine that being really difficult if you had the blue, yellow, and striped ones. Oh, that one would have been hard. I kind of sold it a little bit. I thought it was going to be really difficult. What's up over there, Mad Sane? How you doing over there on TikTok, Chris? Nice to have you. Unfortunately, we're actually getting ready to log off on here. We're still trying to figure out time frames. 8 o'clock is our standard, and I like going live at 8, and I want to be consistent, but I'm trying to find, I don't know. We're still such a small channel. Maybe I should just keep You were laughing though. You were probably laughing at my reactions because I was like freaking out. I think maybe we just need to be consistent because we are still a pretty young channel. I mean, if you think about it, we took a leave of absence over the summer. So we've really only been streaming for 4 months, right? We started in April, March. We went through April and May, maybe 3 months. Yeah. So we are still pretty young. Maybe we stick with 8 o'clock. I don't want to go too late as far as the streaming goes. I'm not a late person. I'm usually in bed 10:30 anyway. We could go earlier. You said 8 is cool. All right. Yeah, I think maybe we stick with 8. Kept saying, "Oh shoot, I messed up," but you weren't, so I can only imagine. I know I was getting them right, but I thought I was messing up. Maybe 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 wouldn't be bad, and that way, because we typically go for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'd like to stick closer to an hour and a half, but some of our games take a little bit longer, and I can't ever predict that, so that's why we're going a little bit longer tonight. Plus, we were messing with those brain games that I found on mindgames.com, and some of them are pretty cool. I think we'll keep revisiting those brain trainer ones. Actually, those were fun. Yeah, 7:30 is not a bad idea. We could always try that one. I never really know how early or how late to go, but maybe we'll stick with 8. We'll stick with 8. We'll stick with the consistent number, and then if we get to a point that maybe we want to go a little bit earlier, we could. So, but yeah. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap up for the evening. Yeah, we had another good show. We reviewed a video on habits that are revealed in past trauma, and not all of them were bad, right? Some of them were kind of like how they say certain like ADHD traits are kind of like superpowers. Some of them I would consider trauma superpowers. So if you're interested in that, check out the video. It's linked in our YouTube description by the what was the name of the channel again? Chill Dude Unpacks. Yeah, check out his channel. It was pretty good. I have not checked out any of his other content. So yeah, click that like, share, and subscribe button. Do the same thing for us. Give us a follow there on TikTok if you can. We had some pretty good success. We gained a new follower on TikTok, and we also had according to what I say, 3.2K likes. So I appreciate that. So with that being said, let's wrap this up. So, although trauma may leave its mark, it doesn't have to define your story. Healing is a process, right? And every small step counts. Here at Bargain Brand Wellness, we believe that healing doesn't have to be sold separately. Our opinions might not be FDA approved, but they come straight from the heart. So keep taking care of yourself and keep the conversation going. Remember to stay grounded, stay curious, and most of all, make it worth your wellness. All right. I see your comment there, Ashley. I agree. I think we're going to stick with 8. But I love you guys. Appreciate the support. And I'll see you on Wednesday.